jamming. This is nice.
Got a patty on my wrist, hot tech when I sip, got a little bag into the dash, lately I've been getting to the cash, match it when I flip, chop it, then I dip, gotta get the snakes to cut the grass, in the foreign land, pop a task, got a patty on my wrist, hot tech when I sip, got a little bag into the dash, lately I've been getting to the cash, match it when I flip, chop it, then I dip, gotta get the snakes to cut the grass, in the foreign land, pop a task, gotta pat it on my wrist.
Well, happy birthday to my black ass. I am now 50 years old, 50 years around the sun. And people been hitting me and asking me, when will I talk about pro wrestling again? For some of y'all people, pro wrestling, I've been a fan of pro wrestling since I was a young kid. I talked about this numerous times on the podcast. My memories of Dorton Arena, Greensboro, going with my grandparents, going to Fall Brawl back in the day when the Giant went against Bill Goldberg for the title and the fuckfest that I had that weekend with a lovely lady for my birthday. And recently, even going to Deadlock Pro Wrestling, which if you're on my Facebook, on my Twitter, I done posted pictures of me there. And I plan to go to the next one to have it. And so I had to feed the people. And what better way than after WrestleMania weekend so I could discuss both nights and the news about WrestleMania and everything about pro wrestling. I'll be dropping these episodes twice a month, more than twice a month probably. So, yeah, weekly. So, welcome to the relaunch, the rebrand, the new Pro Wrestling Smoke with Bobby Lucas. What's going on, people? It is Monday, and we had a full weekend of pro wrestling. WWE took over Vegas, literally. It's WrestleMania weekend. It was a lot of wrestling events all together that whole weekend or what have you. And, of course, you had the little companies. You had Bloodsport, GCW Bloodsport, with Natalya had a match and got into it with the NWA Women's Champion, the holder of the belt, Kenzie Page. And I think they're having a match for the Crockett Cup for the NWA and everything. And before I go into WrestleMania, because originally I had a co-host with this, which was Billy Pilgrim. Shouts out to him. And we did it to where we talked about the history of pro wrestling and everything else. And so y'all can go back, and it's way back in the list on Spotify, all these up, to check out the Pro Wrestling Smoke. I might see if I can find some of them to re-release, so y'all can hear them or whatever. And we talk about wrestling. But this is now, I'm not even going to say the golden era. This is the platinum era for pro wrestling. And it is led by WWE, with AEW coming in a very, very strong, distant second. And the independence has never been hotter. Like when I went to Deadlock Pro, right before the pandemic, you didn't have a lot of big stars popping up on these small independent companies. Like Memphis Wrestling. Wow. I'm thinking that they straight up independent. No, these motherfuckers got WWE ID motherfuckers on their show. One of their former champions, Aaron Roberts, who I love to death, The Problem. He's a WWE ID. Not surprised. Very surprised he haven't even made to Evolve. But even more so, the independence has been crazy. I saw Kenta. Trevor Lee, of course, he's from around here. Cedric Alexander about to start making appearances. Our independent promotions really is Deadlock Pro and Ashe Pro Wrestling, which is a all black wrestling promotion. That from the talent that they book to the company itself. And it's actually pretty good. Go check them out on YouTube. One of the guys that I really like is Darius Carter. He was ranked 148th on the, I think he was ranked maybe higher than that, in the top 200, 500, whatever it was for Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And he's currently the Ashe heavyweight champion. And they just unveiled that they're about to have a women's championship. And I'm pretty sure sometime by the end of this year, a tag championship. I hope to one day they will come to Durham. If not, I'll figure out some fucking way to see them in Greensboro or in Charlotte. You know, but Deadlock Pro does come this way. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But the reason why I said this era is being led by WWE, because when WWE did this WWE ID, practically they're paying promotions to book their talent, and they're paying the talent. And I think what it is to get the WWE style of wrestling, or what they consider wrestling, in all areas. Shit that Vince wanted to do with the TV, but he didn't have the ability to do as they do now, because WWE wasn't the top dog at that time. In essence, WWE became the NWA almost, because the NWA, for some of you people that don't know history, the NWA was the first true governing body of pro wrestling. They had the first unified and actually world title, which was held by numerous of people. Y'all know the shit. Y'all done seen some of the videos on YouTube if you watch wrestling. So WWE has added Evolve, which is on Tubi, which is good. Of course, NXT, which is now actually really, became big. And of course, SmackDown and Raw. And now they purchased, which is funny because a lot of people thought they said partnership. No, they purchased AAA. Now, why is this so significant? I know a lot of people is like, okay, why did they purchase this Mexican promotion? Well, one, AAA is the number one or number two wrestling promotion in Mexico as far as size. The other one is CMLL, which is in a partnership with AEW, but I digress. It's just funny how they're actually mirroring and looking at what AEW is doing to a certain extent and kind of copying it. Even though, now, a lot of people will say that, I think this was something that Triple H wanted to do but couldn't do under Vince, because Vince didn't want that. TK on the other end does, because think about it. They had UFC, and UFC eventually bought Bellator. I digress. So the reason why this is major, because it gets them into the Mexican market. Because one of the hardest part about pro wrestling is being able to draw and be able to book arenas in those countries. And after this European tour that just happened, they want to go international. So, plus, it gives you a inside, what's where I'm looking, it enables you to recruit some of the top young luchadors. And also maintain the legends. You feel me? Plus, you can integrate some of your wrestlers, and you can create journeymen within the WWE universe. Where, we can send Randy Orton down to Mexico. We can send Carmelo Anthony and Carmelo Hayes to Mexico or what have you. And once again, you have one of the top promotions down there. So booking a Wrestlemania in Mexico City is not a problem anymore because you already got AAA. You see, they have the Kingo, who is something going to tell me is going to end up becoming the world champ again. That was on the show, which we're going to discuss in a second. Plus, you got you could get Gable, aka Ganda Americano, to go down there and so forth. So it gives them. Think about it, they were trying to buy wrestling promotion in Japan, and the main reason why they did a partnership with TNA was, well, if we can't beat them, why not get them to join us? Because technically, you might say they bought TNA. They're giving TNA money. They allowing TNA to intermingle with NXT. Now, also, if you notice that AAA and that Worlds Collide is going to be an NXT AAA event, meaning there's going to be a distinct difference between the main roster, which is still Raw and SmackDown, versus NXT. NXT is all about developmental and rehabilitation. Smoke that over for a minute. So, and trust me, now I don't know how much money they paid for AAA, but trust me, the Pena family look very happy. Now, where I take it is that the Pena family will probably still run it. I wonder how Conan and Vampiro will be played into this, because I do remember they were booking it one time. Alberto Del Rio, former WWE champion, is currently the Mega champion. How are they going to deal with that? Because he has a lot of negativity surrounding him, and I don't think him and Triple H like each other too tough. So I'm very curious, and I'm very curious to see how all that is going to play out. But it seems like to me, WWE is really trying to stretch their influence in so many ways. I even heard rumors that NXT Europe is still going to be a thing. So, like I said before, NXT is becoming their pure, it's still their power brand, one of their power brands, but becoming a developmental brand. Now, also, I'm curious about how they're going to actually do the shows with AAA, because they have a Spanish announce team. So is that going to become the announce team in AAA? They're going to do different, have a different announcer? What they're going to do with the old, established, legendary talent, such as Cybernetico, El Macias, Chessman, you feel what I'm saying? Shaka, Latin Lover, and all these guys, period. It and then add to it, right? In the news conference, if you notice, everybody that was there was AAA at one point. Ashton Phoenix was the AAA champion at one point. I thought it would be Pentagon before him, but I forgot him and Pentagon and them kind of, So it's kind of like when Mariah May said she wanted to go to WWE. I hate to tell people this. WWE been around so long that that's the one things that AEW is going to have to fight against. Who don't want to go to the WWE? It's just like who don't want to go to the NBA. No one sit there and says, yeah, I want to go to the NBDL. No one says I want to go to the XFL. No, I want to go to the NFL. No one says I want to go to play football in Canada. WWE is the premier wrestling promotion. Bar none. Number one. There's nothing anybody can do about it. AEW, there's nothing they can do about it. They can just do them. It's just great that there's so many places for these guys to go to get money and to be seen. MLW, now I see Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, NWA. You feel me? Now we got Memphis Wrestling. Now UWN is back. They done came back. So never been higher, never been greater. Even when I looked at Ashe had a showcase main event. You know, I actually would love for either Ashe or Deadlock Pro to become part of NWA. I would love one of them to be a promotion. But nonetheless, there you go. So now, by the way, this episode particularly is sponsored by Pass That Apparel. Go in the link in the description. Check out the Pass That Inhalation Partners store on T Public. Go get their t-shirts. I'm talking about they got some great designs, wonderful designs that you will enjoy and love, and it's for the smoking in you. And like I said, it's my birthday. 420 just passed. So why don't you pass that on to your friends and go get yourself a nice t-shirt? He even is going to have eventually some smoking accessories. So keep a watch out for that. But go to T Publix and check out the t-shirt store for Pass That Apparel. Y'all know what it is. So now, WrestleMania. 2 nights. WrestleMania 2 nights. I mean, WrestleMania was one fucking night. Long ass night, but nonetheless. WrestleMania. So let's start with, first of all, the build-up to me. The build-up compared to last year was not the same. The build-up actually was mid, honestly. Like last year, you had the story of Cody finishing his story. You had so many things going into it, the situation with The Rock and all this, right? So we know the big storylines was the main ones. Cena turning heel and going for his 17th world title. And him aligning with The Rock. Now, what's crazy is that the Cena and Cody build, mid. It didn't make me want to see the match. I'm just going to be unpopular opinion. And 2, Cena wins, LOL. Spoiler alert, Cena won. I knew that was going to happen because nowhere in hell they're going to have this man come back and turn heel for him not to get that 17th world title. And they want their made star to hold that record. Triple H, WWE, Vince, they did not want Rick to be the greatest world champion or have the most reigns. John Cena's the closest. So they needed John Cena to win. Now, me personally, I agree with a lot of people. The turn should have happened at WrestleMania. Not there. And I really don't see the purpose of The Rock unless The Rock just wanted to put himself in it. Nor did I see the purpose of Travis Scott. The other build, which was pretty good, but was a triple threat. So, me personally, I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm excited because it's WrestleMania. But if I had to compare the builds to this year's build to last year's build, trust me, it wasn't the same. So, the big takeaways from night 1, because I'm not going to go through each match, all that, because that ain't what I do. That ain't how I do my shit. Takeaway 1, where's that? New Day winning the tag titles, no surprise. It was a good match. Been no surprise there. Okay. Do I agree with New Day getting the belts? Yes. It's a new coat of paint for them being heels. We haven't had New Day as heels since their inception, because their inception, they was originally heels, if y'all remember. they came out with the choir and all that and the positivity, and that's what they used to say New Day sunk until eventually they say New Day rocks. So New Day, no surprise there. I'm trying to think what else happened on night one. Wait a second. I need to look this up real quick. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So, but we talked about that. Now, see, I'm sorry I got to remind myself because it was a lot of matches and I just turned 50. All right. Now, like I said, of course, the New Day winning, no surprise there. Jey Uso and Gunther. First of all, congratulations to Jey Uso winning the belt. Was I surprised that he won? No. I felt that the match should have been way more physical than what it was, and it wasn't. Because the way that y'all played the angle coming in is not just winning the belt, it's destroying Gunther in the process for what he did to my family. And I guess because they knew what was going to happen with the triple threat, that they didn't want that match to be ramped up. But if there was any match that needed to be ramped up that may have called for blood of any kind, should have been that. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Jey Uso as champ. Especially based off of what happened in the main event. But because I'm correct, is Seth Rollins is on Raw, so and CM Punk, I think he's on Raw. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that. A lot of people didn't like the match, and I was listening to Bust It Open when they were saying, "Well, no, we were spending blood." Jay, how can I put this? Jay is not the best wrestler out the roster. He just have the most charisma. As a tag team wrestler, yeah, him and his brother, they're a beast. But he's not a Jay Briscoe. Jay Briscoe could wrestle his ass off and had the charisma. That's why I was looking forward, God bless his death, for that dude to ever be the AEW champion, WWE champion, or any of that. But out of the two brothers, it didn't surprise me Jay being the one getting the push. Especially based off the fact that when Jimmy was injured during the pandemic and Jay became the right-hand man to Roman, he had a lot of single matches, and they were pretty good. But I just think him and Gunther don't have chemistry like that. So if y'all was expecting them to have a better match, I don't know what to tell you. So, but I think my shit is unplugged. Nice. It's plugged up. Okay. No, I was just looking at my computer was tripping. Now, of course, I talk about New Day winning, defeating them. Jade Cargill and Naomi, I'm not even going to lie to you. I saw bits and pieces of it because I was also recording at the same time, doing my work as a podcast. But anyway, I watched it as I recorded. That's a very good match. This is where it had to be. But, and I dare say, underwhelming to a certain extent. Am I surprised that Cargill won? No. Would I book Cargill to have won? I don't know. I think I would have had Naomi get over on her and set up the match at Backlash to where it's a more physical. It could be a cage match. It could be a street fight. You know what I'm saying? Which, of course, I think that they should continue that feud. In my opinion, they should not shut it down. I think that feud has a lot more legs in it. Jade Cargill did what she did. She don't need to do it a lot. She's a strong woman. Her power should be her thing, you know. And of course, Naomi being the great wrestler she is, let's be real, she kind of carried it. You feel me? She made Jade Cargill look like look good. So people need to put more respect on Naomi's name. But I'm not surprised that Cargill won. And I wasn't mad that I didn't see as much of the match. You feel me? But not because of the women's match, because, well, just wasn't, thrilled. Over the moon for Jacob Fatu becoming U.S. champ. Glad that he won it clean with no shenanigans. Thank you for that. Of course, El Grande Americano. First of all, hate that. This is crazy that you had Rey Mysterio wasn't able to compete. Bailey, which that angle aired on night one, was supposedly injured. No, they actually removed her from the show. This is already had it planned for her to be removed. God, I feel bad for you, Bailey, for real. You a trooper. They will owe me. They will owe me a title run. Cause I'm like, you took me off of Wrestlemania to put Becky Lynch in my place on purpose. Not because I was injured, because y'all just want a big pop. Oh man, I ain't even gonna lie. It was a lot of fumbles during this WrestleMania. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Get what y'all say. You feel me? But Americana defeats Rey Fenix. Very good match. Not surprised that Gable won because right now you're building up him and Rey Mysterio. I believe that he would have got the win over Rey Mysterio anyway because I think one, you're building up him to get a push as his mass wrestler, and him losing would kill the Sting. Plus the fact that he's winning by putting that metal thing in his forehead and knocking people out. In my opinion, like I said, will it build to a title? Maybe the AAA belt. That wouldn't surprise me if Gable actually go down there and win it. But him losing, no. I hate that Rey Fenix was the sacrificial lamb. But I get why they did that because so people can understand this. To show the peanuts, you made the right decision by selling to us. You feel me? You made the right decision by selling to us. But because Phoenix was one of their top wrestlers, a former world champion, and it legitimizes El Grande Americano even more. See, a lot of people don't even understand. They probably just figure, because Phoenix is the most popular and Pimp got a match, that no, it was a reason behind it to solidify Chad's character to even the Mexican people when they go down there. Oh, damn, he beat Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, not surprised with that victory happening. You feel me? And then Tiffy time. Tiffy wins. Now, that build was pretty good because the personal shit they threw in it, it's damn shame that ratchet shit had to make the shit interesting. Pretty good match. Both of them trying to work on each other's leg. Both of them athletic. Tiffy wins. I agree with the no title change there because she just really won the belt. She needs to win over Charlotte Flair, so that it could solidify her as champ. Charlotte does not need to win. Actually, you can do a lot with Charlotte. You can have her feud. And you actually could continue the feud between her and Tiffany Stratton for one more match. But even to the point that you can do the storyline where two of the female horsemen become cool again, with Bayley being pushed out of being on the show for Becky. Because if I'm correct, wait a second, but because the women's tag titles go for all the promotions. So, because you already got, based on what happened last night, Ripley and your girl, and Bianca Belair, what we'll get to in a second. But not surprised that she won. It made sense in the whole nine. And then, of course, we get to the main event of night one, the triple threat, which to me was the match of the night. I'm not even going to front. Better main event than I thought it was going to be. The triple threat with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And apparently the prize was Paul Heyman. The storytelling was at an all-time high in this, even to the fact that when you saw Roman take the Ulafala off, and he's so used to handing it to Paul, and he's looking at Paul like, you bitch. You know. And the match is pretty good. It's what I hate about triple threats is that it's not a good triple threat unless all three participants are equally involved. And that what this triple threat was. This, if you want to learn how to do a triple threat match perfectly, this is the perfect match to watch. Because you didn't have too many times where it was one-on-one. And you had a lot of interaction back and forth between all three of them. In some triple threats, you have one of the motherfuckers gone about damn near half the match. Then he comes back. You know what I'm saying? It was an equal billing there. Now, of course, the crescendo came when there was where, of course, triple threats are no disqualification. When Paul Heyman threw in the chair. Slid the chair. Now, in the original, I think, which one was it? The original one where he slid in the chair was in between the two people. He slid it to CM Punk. And he gets in the ring. Now, me personally, when I saw he got in the ring, y'all did a good job of us. Okay, I'm going to be real with you. Him getting in the ring telegraphed everything. I get why he did it, but it telegraphed everything. Let me explain. When he slid the last time when he did that, when he slid the chair, he didn't get in the ring. He just slid the chair. Right? And kept you guessing. He gets in the ring with CM Punk, encourages CM Punk, then he gives him a low blow. Now, mind you, it was a normal low blow to help Roman. Roman takes out CM Punk. Now, the question is, some people might ask, well, why didn't he just go ahead and take out Roman too? And then he wanted CM Punk to feel pain. It's the reason behind. I'm about to explain all of this, what I think he might actually say, and two, how it's not Seth Rollins that was the mastermind behind all this. It was actually Paul Heyman. He's the devil in this. Okay. So, and he set this up, and it's been planned for a nice long minute. And I'm going to tell you where it began. Now it comes time for Roman to get his comeuppance on Seth Rollins. That's when he gets the low blow. And you notice he digs it in a little bit more. Digs it in. And thus, y'all know the end of the story. Seth Rollins wins, and the last image of the night we see Seth Rollins standing beside Paul Heyman. Now, great ending. Was I surprised? Yeah, actually I was. I didn't think it was going to be that. I didn't know how it was going to end, honestly. That's what made it a surprise. That was the one match that I didn't. It was either CM Punk winning and him and Paul Heyman, or what have you. I wasn't expecting Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, even though when I think back, I should have saw that coming. Because he didn't been with Roman, he didn't been with Punk, he never been with Seth Rollins. And they need Seth Rollins to have a new coat of paint right now, because he's kind of getting stale, period. And actually, this is the new coat of paint he needed. Is it an odd parent? Yeah, but I'm curious to see how it's going to fall. But I think this was more of the brainchild, storyline-wise, of Paul Heyman. I want y'all to follow me on this. It began when Roman lost to Cody. And Roman disappeared. I want y'all to think about this. I'm the wise man. I'm the wise man to you. You're the chief. Then you leave me to the wolves. Remember, he got powerbombed by Source of Cole. So now I get put through a table, put out for a minute, because you decided you felt some type of way because you lost the world title, but left me in the cold. I made you. I'm the reason why you had that long reign. Me, the wise man. See, you hear me out? CM Punk angle is you left. Then you come back, and all of a sudden, because I'm with Roman, you want me to come in the ring with you. You left me all alone. I had to go find Brock. And you forced me to go against my cash cow. My cash cow, right? Then he looked at, now hold on. Like I said, he already had resentment towards Roman. The resentment with CM Punk was, you decide your favor was, one, hold on, you use me to get you in the main event. I got you in the main event. It still wasn't good enough. Now you put me at odds with my cash cow, Roman Reigns, who I already have issues with. But I put it to the side because you are my tribal chief. But then when that favor was asked, the first thing you thought was, I'm betraying you. Not you understanding that I was put in a predicament because you done fucked up so bad that you had nobody else that we could have asked to be on that team. So I saved your ass by asking my best friend, who in return betrays me by asking me to come to him, go with him to the ring. But instead of you understanding that it's because of a favor that I went upon as your wise man to save your ass, you have another disrespect me and said that wasn't my debt to pay. The fuck if it ain't, because you benefited. You wouldn't have won. Punk tipped the scales, so I owed him that favor. And you was about to fucking murder me because I told you, I said, no, I owe him this. I'm a man of my word. So at some point, he talks to Seth Rollins. Not Seth talked to him. He talked to Seth Rollins. Now, it might have been when Seth Rollins, it could have been that they could play it as in it was the favor that he did a favor for Seth Rollins. Now, Seth Rollins got to do a favor for him because he helped him win. Or this was already in the works by Paul Heyman. The way he said to Seth Rollins, look what I did for CM Punk. Look what I did for Roman. Now imagine what I could do for you. Your last couple of years been shitty. Let's look at last WrestleMania. You was an afterthought. You was the joke. You was the world heavyweight champion. What ended up happening with that? You got completely decimated by Bronson Reed. Did that happen? Did any of that happen to Roman? Did any of that happen to CM Punk? Imagine what I could do for you as your advisor. Revolutionary with the greatest mind in pro wrestling. This generation's this generation's Bobby the Brain Heenan. Think about it. Paul Heyman is this generation's Bobby the Brain Heenan. He's the new Weasel. And each person that he managed, he had a different feel to him. I like the way he says advocate. So I'm curious to see where this is going to go. Now, Brock didn't have a clique. Roman did. I wonder with the Revolutionary, will he have a clique? We're going to see. I'm curious to see what happens tonight because, like I said, I'm dropping this today so y'all can see it. You know, fresh off the damn woman card. But I'm curious to see it. That's where I think all this is going to come from. That he's going to point these things out of why he betrayed, especially Roman. He's going to dig into Roman. He said, you want to know why I did it so hard? Because you left me. Then when I came back to be at your side, you treated me like crap. You disrespected me when I sat here and went through the trouble to find us a fifth person to go against his bloodline. Nobody wanted to fuck with you. I convinced the one person, and this is how you repay me. So trust me, I'm curious to see what's going to be said. So that was night one. That what made night one great was the main event. The stuff up into that really wasn't, in my opinion, awesome. And you know what I'm saying? Other than that, well, there you go. Now, night two was interesting because we ended night one with a triple threat. We began night two with a triple threat. The women's, the women's world title. Io Sky retains. Storytelling is the match that everybody want to see. They want to see Ripley versus Bianca Belair. That's what that match is basically based around. And the way the build was, the way the match was. Io Sky, for the most part, was a afterthought. She made a guy. I think they had 2 pin attempts the whole night on her alone. Everything else was really trying for them two to pin each other. Io Sky, of course, after it seemed like Bianca Belair had it won, she does the moonsault, and the rest is history. I agree with it. I felt that Io Sky, who had not won a match at WrestleMania, I may add, was due one. And to me, the match, the Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, don't need the women's title, the women's world title, for their feud. I don't think they really need it. They don't have to have it. It's not a point to have it. That's just my opinion. So what I think and what I feel is that they made the right decision with Io Sky. Let's get her a new feud. Let's build a feud between Bianca and Rhea. You feel me? The street fight, brutal. As hell. It was brutal, to say the least. Loved the ending and how Drew McIntyre won. First, I liked the way he came out. I really liked the way our boy came out, Priest. And how can I put this? The ending to me was perfect, especially when he. Hold on one second. Especially. I get what y'all to say. That's why. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is that Rhea, what made to me, we were talking about him doing the Claymore with your boy head against the table, the chair. One, in my opinion, we need to have another match. It made sense for Drew McIntyre to get the win because he is not beaten your boy. Because if you look, no one should be surprised that Drew won. If you actually look at the preview that they played, every turn, Damian Priest has defeated Drew McIntyre. Eliminated him in the eliminated him in the Elimination Chamber, eliminated him in the Royal Rumble. When he won the world title last year, Priest cashed in the Money in the Bank. So Drew was due to comeuppance. Let's just keep it 100. He was due for comeuppance. So Drew winning is no surprise there. I like the fashion that he won. I like the physicality of the match itself. Actually, I dare say it was the match of the night for me. Because of how physical it was and how they were in this match. I loved it. I'm curious to see if they're going to continue the feud. I think they should. In some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because you got Backlash coming up, so you could culminate the feud on that. The question is, who you going to get to win this feud? Is it going to be Drew? Is it going to be him? Where we're going to take it? I'm curious. So after that, I think we had the Fatal 4-Way. Dom, Mysterio wins his first major title. His first major title in the WWE. Win in the Continental title. And it's funny. If y'all know it's a thing, Finn Balor helps people win world titles, people. He helps people win belts. Let's look at it. He had the match won to win the world title. And what was it? Priest came in and retained. And I guess in the match they're supposed to have, where have you. And this one is similar. He had the match won. He had your boy. Dead to rights with the coup de grace. And mind you, he hadn't hit it all match. And then Dominic frog splashed him and won. And what's funny is Dominic didn't get booed. The fans were like, well, fuck it. He finally won one. Yay! So Dominic becomes the Intercontinental Champion. And I am curious to see how this title reign is going to run, because this is Dominic. Now, I'm not saying he's the greatest, right? He's pretty good in the ring. I'm not even going to front. But I'm curious to see how this is going to work, because he still got to deal with Finn Balor. At some point, Braun Breaker going to win a title match. Braun Breaker going to win a rematch, and you still got Penta. I thought Penta was going to win tonight, but I actually got no issue with Dom winning. Dom been there long enough. He been getting nuclear heat, so why not put the belt on and see what happens? And plus, you can have him win the matches, you know what I'm saying, through dubious means on a regular basis, because you got, Liv Morgan and you have Carlito. Now the question is, are they going to add another person to Judgment Day? And which is one they're going to add another Spanish person. But we haven't heard from JD McDonough, who is still out with injury. And I'm curious to see how this is going to play out with him and Finn Balor. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, because Balor did not come out in Judgment Day clothing, if you notice. So are we finally going to get this implosion of Judgment Day tonight? We'll see. But Dominic Mysterio becoming champ, that was funny. That was really unexpected. That's a nice surprise. And then, of course, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. The entrance was cool as shit. I love the camera angles. Good match. I'm curious to see what is going to be this angle with Karrion Kross. Now that I'm curious. Karrion Kross dropped a serious promo. I want to see if hold on. I want to see if I actually snap. I was trying to find Karrion Kross. Let me find Karrion Kross's name real quick. See, it's funny as hell when I actually like something and I want to find it. Oh God. Hold on, let me get. Fuck. Let me see if I can find it. YouTube. Cause I want to actually show y'all this. Cause I'm curious to see where they're going to go with. Here we go. Hold on. This is why this dude need to get a push. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck nobody say. They're missing out my man Killer Cross. Thank you. Let's go.
It is that Logan Paul just won. And let's talk about, Sam, let's talk about what Logan Paul represents. The shortcut. Feels so good to be here. Feels so good to be in the business. Thinking about all of the funerals that I wasn't able to attend for the last 11 years in this business, all the holidays I missed. You know, I could have just started a YouTube channel, could have just jumped in there with AJ Styles. Feels really good, right? It's awesome. It's really good.
Do you guys know we have 25 years combined experience, and what are we doing on Mania?
Well, they know because they're normal human beings, and they actually love professional wrestling. But apparently that doesn't mean shit anymore. That doesn't mean shit. All I asked Alan to do was for once to not think about just himself. Think about everybody in the back and think about the professional wrestling fans. That's all I wanted him to do. Sometimes to do the right thing, you have to do the wrong thing. But he's a narcissist, and he had to do it his way. Hey, Alan, how many more WrestleManias do you have in your system? Probably, I don't know, one. Maybe this is the last one, and you just pissed that away. For what? For what? For your way? Thanks a lot, bud. I really appreciate it. You want to know what the best advice I ever got? It was from Bill Goldberg. 2021, back when I was in the Twilight Zone, you know what I mean? I'm wrestling for gasoline. It was awesome. Let me tell you all about it. Bill goes, hey, Cross, you know what? You remind me a lot of me. I go, I think we have different styles, Bill, but I really appreciate that. Do you have any advice for me? He goes, you know what? You just got to be a good soldier. A good soldier is what he said. So I decided to be a good soldier. You know what happened? They released me. And then I come back. You know what being a good soldier gets you, everybody here? Just so in case you're wondering, you want the back scoop here. Being a good soldier gets your times cut. Being a good soldier means that people come up to you and say, hey, you got any great ideas? Yeah, here it is from Scotland. No. That's a little too great. We're looking just for good ideas. That's for those guys over there. That's what being a good soldier is, okay? Being a good soldier is coming to your hometown where you cut your teeth when you got started and not being on the card. It's all about viral moments now. That's what it's all about, viral moments. Well, Guy, everybody's been telling me that I got to become undeniable. And as soon as it happens, they ignore it and they shut it down. I never asked to wrestle Randy. I never asked. That happened organically, and you ignored it for a viral moment. And good on Joe. Nothing against him. But you ignored it. And the crowd told you exactly how they felt about me on SmackDown when I was eliminated. And you ignored it. Become undeniable. My ass. My ass. You want a viral moment? On behalf of all of the true fans of professional wrestling, Guy with the suit and tie in the truck, go fuck yourself. That's from Killer Cross. No. Fuck it.
Yes. Yes. Can someone please push this man? Can someone please push Killer Cross? Not Karrion Kross, no. Killer Cross. That's what we're talking about. But I just found that interesting. I'm curious to see where this is going to go. Is this going to lead to a feud between him and AJ Styles, which I'm all for. And I hope that this elevates Killer Cross because they really dropped the... I keep hearing everyone talk about AEW dropped the ball on this and WWE dropped the ball on this. Well, WWE has dropped the ball on Karrion Kross. So that's just my opinion. Like it or love it. Just hear what I'm saying. Now, but Logan Paul is a real deal, though. Let's not pretend like this dude don't take it serious. Let's not pretend like this dude ain't any good. Logan Paul is good. And his finish maneuver, that pendulum brain buster, or that shit, wow. He's very innovative with his finish maneuvers. And like I said, that punch is something fierce. But with Killer Cross coming out and helping AJ Styles, because one call about to get the brass knucks, And then telling AJ Styles, go ahead, hit him. And AJ Styles said no, and then loses. Get knocked out cold. Either AJ Styles, and oh, by the way, he hit Karrion Kross, I may add. Is he going to join Karrion Kross's movement, or is AJ going to be with Karrion Kross? I am so curious about that, yo. That's beautiful. So, of course, the man, when she comes around, she wins belts. Now, as you know, Bayley was left out. Now, she was not seriously injured. They knew this ahead of time that they were going to do an injury angle to where Bayley would be hurt and that Lyra Valkyria would have to find a tag partner to face Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, what is so crazy about this, right, was this happened on night one. So this wasn't like with Kevin Owens being hurt. This is different. And she's not hurt. So that means I would love to be in the room with the conversation of Bayley. She's sitting there like, you know, getting ready for WrestleMania. Like, oh, Bayley, yeah, we're going to do this angle where you and Lyra Valkyria, you know, y'all just had a great match. That y'all going to be tag partners to go against Liv Morgan and Rodriguez. But on night one, we're going to pretend like you got hurt. You got jumped. No. Because we want to set up you beefing with... Hold on, wait a second. They're rehashing the Jade Cargill storyline. Low-key, did y'all not notice that? What happened? Jade Cargill gets taken out by Naomi. No one knew for the longest who took her out. Naomi replaces Jade Cargill as the tag partner for Bianca Belair, and they go on to have a tag run. Fast forward, WrestleMania night one, Bayley gets jumped. Lyra Valkyria got to find another partner. And the partner is returning Becky Lynch. If I were Bayley, I would have been like, oh, y'all got to put a couple extra zeros on my check on this one. Y'all owe me a title run. Y'all owe me some time off something. I'm missing WrestleMania. Not because I'm hurt. I'm not even hurt. Y'all literally just removing me from the match. So yes, the man came back, and the man, when she comes around, she wins belts. And we now have a new women's tag team champions. Lyra Valkyria and the one and only Becky Lynch. Have no problem with it because at some point you had to have Liv and Rodriguez drop the belts. Two, Becky needed her come up because the last time we saw Becky, she lost to Liv Morgan in a cage match. Now, is this going to be, like I said, a similar situation where it was Becky that attacked Bayley and then replaced Bayley? And now we have Bayley going against the man? Or is it Roxanne Perez? Because now the storyline is who attacked Bayley. But it would be real funny if they did the same thing and Bayley comes out and said it was the man. Oh, and by the way, they got defended tag titles, I think, on NXT against Gigi Jolie and Tatum Paxley. So, and what else happened there? So now the last thing in the last image, John Cena getting his 17th world title. LOL, John Cena wins again. Of course, if y'all thought the match was going to be spectacular or 5-star, John Cena did the boringest match you can do. The ending was garbage. Clunky my ass, garbage. Everything that John did, he could have did without Travis Scott. And the way that Travis Scott came in, he comes, okay. John Cena and Cody both is down. Travis didn't come down to the ring when John Cena was about to catch the crossroads. No. He waits till I think a minute after, and he walks his happy, decrepit, don't know why you even a part of this storyline shit ass down to the fucking ring. Oh, by the way, that hardcore title is kind of fire. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. That shit fire. But he walks down to the ring, not run. He didn't come out the crowd to interfere and hit Cody from behind, none of that shit. He eventually gets in the ring. He gets taken out with a crossroads. John go gets the belt. He about to hit Cody with the belt. Cody takes the belt from him. He feels conflicted. And John Cena kicks him in the nuts. Now, you could have just had it where Travis Scott come out of nowhere and put the referee out the ring. You could have did it any way that could have made it a surprise and shock. But you didn't. No, y'all wanted, which I started to notice, that WWE is now trying to be culture vultures, or which I would consider culture vultures, because they highlighted every rapper in the motherfucking, they highlighted, before the John Cena match, they highlighted every hip-hop artist there is. Oh, and by the way, before even Wrestlemania was announced, during all this SummerSlam, guess who's hosting? Cardi B. They did a segment discussing the WWE and hip-hop with Killer Mike. I'm not, you know what I find funny? I ain't hearing none of you woke motherfuckers see it talk about, so WWE is now trying to be culture vultures. WWE is now trying to cater to the hip-hop culture and so forth and so forth. No, motherfucker, they trying to get more hip-hop music for their theme songs. At NXT, we just had the main event be 3 black men. 3 black men fighting for their top title. And that was a fire main event, way better than this shit. And by the way, check out NXT Stand and Deliver. To me, that was the best pay-per-view from beginning to end of the weekend. Sorry. NXT is on fire, dog. And they have the best looking female roster in the game. But anyway, John Cena gets his 17th title. First of all, if anyone thought that this was going to end differently, no. Did we think the ending would be different how it went down? Yes. The Rock, who started this whole shit, made no appearance whatsoever. John Cena didn't even need the woman card because it could have been because it was a rep bump anyway. He could have grabbed the belt. Cody could have grabbed the belt from him, or the ref grabbed the belt from him, and he kicks Cody in the nuts and then finished Cody off. And then even the walkout was anticlimactic. And he was funny, right? WWE, y'all thought they were going to boo John Cena? Did y'all think that? Let me say something to you. As much as I get that y'all wanted to make John Cena a heel, more people wanted to see him get the 17th world title than to see him lose to Rhodes. Guaranteed, if Cody won, it would have been a boo. Nobody want to say that. Busted Open don't want to say that. Wrestle Talk. Let's keep it 100. The fans wanted to see John Cena beat Cody. We love Cody, but we kind of got tired of Cody for a while. It's time for Cody Cody gonna get the belt back. We know this, but it makes more interesting TV for John Cena. And two, him calling out the moves as I'm sorry. He got to defend the title. He got to defend the title. I don't know how or when, but he got to defend that title. And two, they already said he's booked for other shows. So yeah, I have no problem with him getting the belt. And I'm going to say this again. Did y'all think that the WWE was going to let a WCW/NWA wrestler hold the record in all of pro wrestling for most title reigns? If it wasn't going to be Cena, it was going to be Randy Orton. If it wasn't going to be Randy Orton, they were damn sure going to try to make it Roman or Cody. Now, how they would do that, I don't know. So that was your WrestleMania. And to me, night 1 was better than night 2. It seems that be the case. I don't care what anybody say. That night 1's always been better than night 2. Except last year, the night 2 main event was better than the night 1 main event. And like I said again, it's crazy. This is what I'm sick of. I'm sick and tired of The Rock interjecting himself, and he's not consistently interjecting. He should have been there that night. He should have been a part of the build between John Cena and Cody. And because you're making it seem that it's The Rock versus Cody, that The Rock wants to destroy Cody. He wants to keep him away from the world title. He wants to destroy Cody as a wrestler. If that's the ultimate story that you're telling, at some point, him and Cody got to have a match. And in my opinion, and Cody gets that win back, that loss back, that he took when he got pinned by The Rock. That was never paid off. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen tonight. I wonder if John even going to say anything. I'm curious to see if Paul Heyman was going to say anything. Karrion Kross, they need to push him, put him in a title feud at some point, which I ain't even going to front. I'd love to see him as champ. So and that's it. I done gave y'all an hour and some change. So next week I'm going to discuss my thoughts on Raw, my thoughts on AEW Dynamite, and other tidbit stuff that might pop up. I don't know what day these will drop, or how often I record them. I know you're going to get something weekly from Pro Wrestling, for Pro Wrestling Smoke. But today, because of my birthday, I'm dropping it on my birthday right after recording this, and we're good to go. You feel me? So, with that being said, we out. Oh, no matter what podcast episode it is, y'all know I got to end it the same way. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Thank you for enjoying the debut episode, rebranding, and new season of Pro Wrestling Smoke.
Kevin, this is nice.
Got a patty on my wrist, hot set when I sip, got a little bag into the dash, lately I've been getting to the cash, match it when I flip, chop it, then I dip, gotta get the snakes to cut the grass, in the phone land, pop a task, got a patty on my wrist, hot set when I sip, got a little bag into the dash, lately I've been getting to the cash, match it when I flip, chop it, then I dip, gotta get the snakes to cut the grass, in the phone land, pop a task, got a patty on my wrist.
Kevin, this is nice.
Got a patty on my wrist, hot tech when I sip, got a little bag into the dash, lately I've been getting to the cash, match it when I flip, chop it, then I dip, gotta get the snakes to cut the glass, in the foreign land, pop a task, got a patty on my wrist, hot tech when I sip, got a little bag into the dash, lately I've been getting to the cash, match it when I flip, chop it, then I dip, gotta get the snakes to cut the grass, in the foreign land, pop a task, got a patty on my wrist.